Hey, welcome, and I'm your host Jack City, and we're going to talk about round 4, or the fourth game week of the English Premier League. This is a week behind. I want to get this out today, and then I want to be able to Ousmane Dembele just got the Ballon d'Or, so congrats to him. He definitely deserves it, in my opinion. I think that he is had a fantastic season last year, yeah, so I just want to get this round 4 Premier League synopsis, right, of what my thoughts are. I've done all the analysis I possibly can. I've watched the interviews. I've watched the extended highlights. I've watched some of the games when they happened. I came back from traveling and was able to catch some of the Sunday games. But yeah, just want to give you a little bit of my 2 cents here. It's been a little over a week now from these last games, so. All right, this is round 4 of this stuff. So let's start off with Arsenal 3, Nottingham Forest 0. Okay. So this is Ange Postecoglou's newest team that he's on. This is his first start. Basically starts off with the same starting 11 as Nuno Espirito Santo. Morata gets his first start here ahead because Ola Aina is injured with a hamstring injury, but literally the same team. In my opinion, he probably just said, like, go out there, do your thing, try to earn your spot. I think that's pretty much it. Forest, in my opinion, you're going to get a D grade here, just a flat D. I don't even think I could. It might be a little too harsh, but I don't feel like it could be that harsh. There's a lot of turmoil on the throughout the break in between games. There's been a lot of turmoil for the last probably two and a half weeks leading into this game. Yeah, Postecoglou, I think, just kind of looked at his team and said, "Okay, U11, go out there, just have fun. It is what it is." The team, obviously, it's a good appointment in my opinion, because obviously you're still going to retain that counterattacking play that Nuno liked. Ange does like it a little bit riskier. He likes it a little higher up the field than Nuno. Nuno likes to sit back and counter. So that's going to be a little bit of a difference going into this new era for you guys. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even think there's a lot that I could really take away from this game. From a Forest perspective, I think you just got kind of outclassed, beaten up by a team that is, they're at home, they're confident, they just can dominate you. So it's game 1. I'm really not it's a D because you kind of got pantsed here. But to be honest, I think this was looking at this game and looking at the conditions you guys were in going into this, it kind of felt like that was what was going to happen. Arsenal, I'm going to give you an A because I think this was a routine, easy win. In my opinion, this felt a lot like the Leeds United game. You just kind of ran away with it. It was pretty easy. Forest probably had 1 chance, maybe 2 that were actually dangerous from a defensive standpoint. Offensive standpoint, probably could have scored more. And you also had a bunch of different types of goals, which was actually heartening to see. Zubimendi had a wonder volley off a corner. So it's not your usual corner goal where you stuff the keeper and then you bundle it in. He hit a nice long ball over the top to Eze, and then Eze was able to put it flat across the net for Gyökeres. And then also the ball was dinked over the top for Zubimendi, and he put it in the back post with a header. So that was you had a nice variation of goals, which is good to see. And that was kind of, under normal circumstances, I probably would have given you maybe an A-, but just the variation, just kind of the cleanliness of play, just was a nice, clean, easy day out. I don't think you guys really had any pressure, and you kind of just saw the game out. This game kind of reminded me of Tottenham versus Burnley. Just kind of a nice, clean game. Honestly, I think Leeds might have put up a better opportunity because they had that 1 chance off the bar, or right at the goalkeeper was one of them from a corner. It was Strauch or something. But they might have put up more of a fight. Forest again, it's just they just have a lot going on off the field. They just have a new manager. It's yeah, you looked comfortable. You looked easy. A rating. Like, I don't think that's pretty much all I can give you. Okay, let's go to South Coast. South Coast Derby. Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. Let's talk a little bit. Let me just pull up my notes here. Okay. Bournemouth, I'm going to give you A-. Impressive win for sure. It's over a local rival, so it's a big game. You actually looked like the better team as well. You looked really decisive. You hustled defensively for sure. And you actually made adjustments in the second half that made a material difference to go on to win the game. So there was definitely a bit of like dynamism here that I like seeing. Bournemouth is really good. And I like watching them. They're genuinely. One of them is you got Alex Scott with a nice, like, delicious little goal right there, taking the pirouette and hitting it on the spin. And the second goal is just the fact that Evan Nielsen, who, in my opinion, like, what's crazy is that Bournemouth and just like the Premier League money, like, we're kind of blessed with like a player like Semenyo or Evan Nielsen just being on Bournemouth. Like, this guy came from, if I remember correctly, it was Porto. This guy is a very high level striker comparative to like the team that in the stadium that he's playing in. But the Premier League is the Premier League money is Premier League money. And Evan Nielsen is just has the technical ability to chop, draw the foul, get the penalty to win it. Takeaway here is that you got depth, and I really want to just like bring that to the fore. Is that you got depth and you're able to change your tactics. The fact that you're able to bring in Amin Adli and then Justin Kluivert off the bench, you got a little bit of depth, to actually affect the game. And there are quality players too. So congrats, you got 3 wins in a row now. You've had a great start to the season, and I actually want to know where you guys are going to I'm intrigued to see where Bournemouth goes from here, because I genuinely can say that it's fun watching you guys, like watching your style of play. The Tottenham game was like super fun to watch last week. This was also another a really good performance from you. Brighton. Okay. I'm going to give you a C- because it's a local derby, and that's just like this game. You should have gotten something from it, if I'm honest. Like just expectation going into the game, right? And I expected better from you guys, if I'm honest. I think that Bournemouth and Donny Iraola is a better manager than Fabian Hürzeler. And I think that's probably the reason why this game happened the way it did. So, in my opinion, I think if I was reading this correctly, I think what happened was in the second half, Hürzeler said, okay, we need to make some adjustments. And you made adjustments and then came out in the second half. First 10-15 minutes, Brighton looked dangerous. You got the goal as well from Mitoma. You leveled it up. Good goal too. Really, really solid goal. And that 10-15 minutes that you had was snuffed out. Iraola was able to make tactical adjustments and then also bring on a few. So it's around the 60th minute mark, maybe 65 minute mark. Kind of just actually was the Semenyo pen. Okay, maybe it was like pretty much like at the 60th minute. That 10-15 minute like hot streak that you guys had just was snuffed out. And I think that just was because Iraola was able to like calm down the team, make adjustments, and then the team was able to push on from there. And just it tactically was countered a little bit, just to kind of maintain the game. The goal, I don't think that this game is also going to bring a like massive loss. Like, it's a derby game, I understand that, but like usually like a derby game can actually be emotionally effective on the team. I don't think that this game will do that. If just based on kind of the body language of after the loss and some of the post match. So I don't think this is going to really affect the team that much, which is good for Brighton fans. Like for the weeks going on, I like, because sometimes even games that are not derby games, like Newcastle's lost to Liverpool, that is a game that's emotionally taxing and that's going to affect you going forward, because it's heartbreaking, right? not every rivalry game is going to be like that, but also not every non-rivalry game is going to be like that. Some games hurt more than others, just on a performance, like our sporting level, because of the amount of effort and how close things were. But this didn't feel like that. The negative, obviously, is you just couldn't put the game away. This is the second game away from home that I expected a better performance from you. And now you've got two spirited losses on the books as well. And then I don't want you to. And what I mean by this, by the way, is I go over here. Obviously, you lost to Bournemouth. We already know that the Brighton game the week after that, but it's the Everton game. Like you lost to Everton in a spirited loss, where I thought that maybe you could probably get a draw out of that. Like when you look at the statistics of that game and how it transpired, the penalty save, like all that. It's just like, you don't want to develop a phobia on the road where whenever you go somewhere else, it's not gonna like work out. So, because Bournemouth is now feeling fine about it. They look like they might be okay, honestly. And the thing is, just they brought on this guy, Milivojevic, Saljevic, who is this kid? Like, genuinely, who is this kid? His first start is in a derby game. He's 18 years old. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, Bournemouth is playing like a different level. It does suck too that Hinchelwood got injured super early in the game. So there's a little bit of that, but Yasin Ayari is also a legit player. But okay, that's enough. Anyways, C- to Brighton, A- to Bournemouth. All right, let's go to Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0. This game, I don't even want to spend that much time on it. Crystal Palace, I'm going to give you a C for this. It's just, you had a lot of positives here. You were pretty much the dominant team throughout. Your new signing, Jeremy Pino, looks good. I mean, I know him from back in Villarreal. Like, I knew that he was going to be a good player. But you always wonder how they're going to adapt to the league. Just like it also personally, like, it could affect him, his family, his kids. Like going to, it's just it can affect people personally and on the field. So you just never know how that's going to transpire. But he played really, really well in this game. Showing up. I would just not get too hung up on the draw, if I'm honest. I don't think that this is like that big of a deal. And you're able to keep the game tight in the first half, and then you turned on the Jets in the second half, and then you were kind of unlucky that you didn't score a goal. So the negatives is that you lack goals right now. You recorded 2 games where you didn't score at all out of the 4 so far. So if we go back to your matches here, or in the fixtures, I'm saying that in the league, by the way, but like, look, you got a blank on Chelsea, which I don't blame you. I mean, Chelsea away is difficult, and this is actually a decent result, but you only got 1 goal at home to Fredrikstad. That's kind of frustrating. You got 1 goal at home against Nottingham Forest. Okay. Went on the road to Norway to Fredrikstad, and then you blanked again. Good on you to take your chances against Aston Villa. You kind of embarrassed them a little bit with the scoreline. And then you come here and you go back home, you get a 0-0. I mean, even in the cup 1-1 and you went off penalties, it's kind of like, come on, man. Like, you're so good defensively. You're really that good. You were that good defensively. And the fact you're able to keep and maintain Mark Gahey is crazy to me. You'll probably lose him eventually, but I'm just saying, like, Mark Gahey, fantastic player to keep a hold of. It's funny too, because I was just telling somebody, I was like, I can't believe that you had Trevor Chalobah last year. Like, I was like, what? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Okay, Sunderland in this game, I'm going to give you a C+. The point on a road, getting a point on the road as a newly promoted side to a team that's basically been in the last decade in the Premier League, that's pretty good, honestly. That's kind of all that matters. And, looking at your August, I would say it was an absolute stellar month. You got 2 wins. from 3 games, and now you've started September with another point. So, yeah, you're not a team that's known for possession. Same with Crystal Palace, they're not known for possession, but you do. But your keeper, Roofs, played very, very, very well in this game. Made a couple really good saves to keep you in it, and then steady the team. Last piece, I am wondering if you're ever gonna. I understand that your style of play is gonna be counterattacking, so I'm not saying that I'm expecting you to take possession. I am wondering, like, what games are you going to take possession? Because you did that on the road to Burnley. You actually had more possession. You had about 58%. Burnley allowed you to take possession from them when they were at home. But I'm just wondering, like, what games you are going to. But yeah, that's that. Okay, let's go to the other 0-0 game here. Everton at home to Aston Villa. Okay, this one itself, Everton, I'm going to give you a C. This is Everton. I think you actually played really well at home. I think the crowd is really up for it because Everton feels, again, like they're on a positive bounce right now, and they actually have a little bit of momentum. That's credit to David Moyes and some of the ownership to kind of just steer the team in the right direction. They got a new stadium this year. Kieran Dewsbury Hall was a great pickup. Jack Grealish with a loan was great. I mean, it's just like things feel like they're finally on the ascendancy, and now I'm seeing decent results. I mean, Everton's not like blowing me out of the water with what they're playing, but just the fact is, like, the feel good factor around the team, and also you're grinding out results. Is you can just clearly see that it's like a different team now. But yeah, but you what you need now is a striker, because Beto missed a couple bad sitters. And he missed a fair few of them too. So you probably, if I'm honest, you probably should have just dusted this game. But Beto, again, he missed a couple bad ones. Yeah, Aston Villa are kind of in this attacking funk where they can't really get it together. And that was definitely apparent again in this game. And you're a good side and getting a point against them. First off, this team finished in 6th? 7th last year, 6th, I think. They're a solid team. Hold on, 6th. I think it's 6th, right? I know that's where they are now, but table. Oh, do they not have the? They do not. I was thinking that they would have the whatever. I think it's 6th place. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They started, it doesn't matter if they're in like this kind of like weird funk right now. It's a good team. They're talented players. That's what. The negative, honestly, is like you showed a lot of dominance in this game, and you just could not put it away. I think that's kind of all my knock is, and I think that's just because of Beto, if I'm honest. I kind of feel bad sometimes when you're just like singling out players. You're like, this game we could have won it, but you effed up. But like Beto missed, like, honestly, I think like, how many? He had 4 shots. Like, crazy. Yeah. 1 XG or assist. I mean, he had so many good opportunities. This is 1 big chance, but I'm like, he had a couple like decent quality chances. Unfortunate. It is what it is. Okay, Aston Villa D+. I'm going to give you this to you. Your scoring needs to happen. You need to score. Okay. Period. You're now 4 games in, 4 zeros. This needs to stop. This is going to affect the team. You're on the other side of the international break, and then the issues continue. Like, something needs to give. You need to start winning and scoring, or the team is going to start, you have a good team. So like and the team is bought in still. So it's not necessarily like, everything's over, but I'm just saying if you can't right this ship, it will eventually turn, right? I don't know when it will, but you can already see the frustration starting to simmer, and it's not bubbling, but you can see it. So that's that. But you are looking really good defensively. I do want to just highlight that. Just scrap the Crystal Palace game, kind of like, honestly, but you do look good, like half decent defensively. But it also stinks though is that you gave up a lot of chances. Like, you have a good defensive record, but you gave up a lot of chances here, in this game specifically. But I don't know what to do here. You guys got something going on, and this is like actually what I thought like Newcastle would go through, but you guys are going through it. Like, you had Ramsey leave, and that's kind of all. That's like, you didn't really have, like, you have Evan Gasson who came in. You don't really have like big exits. That Jacob Ramsey was the big exit. You didn't really lose anybody. So I don't understand what is happening here. I mean, are you missing Amadou Onana? Are you missing Boubacar Kamara? I mean, you got Jadon Sancho, which I have not seen at all. Pau Torres is a really good defender as well. I mean, you got Lindelof. Like, you got some like depth options here. Harvey Elliott, you got him. Like, it's like, I don't, I'm not saying like Harvey Elliott is going to take over the world, but like, you got a good side. And like, where is Ollie Watkins? Like, where is he? Like, in this game and throughout all of the highlights, like, Ollie Watkins had nothing basically. He created one chance. Yeah, he didn't even take a shot. Like, it's like, where is he? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I gave you D+, but I don't know what else to do, because if it was a 0-0 in a different context, like, I would give you maybe a C or a C-. But like, because it's the fourth game in a row where you have not scored, I'm like, it's a D+ now. You're going to start eroding your scores. If you get another 0-0, like, I know you don't, but I'm just I'm just saying, like, it's brutal. Anyways, Fulham and Leeds. This is one of the weirdest games. I kind of feel bad for Leeds, if I'm honest, because of the fluke goal at the end, Goodmanson. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you, if you've gotten to this point, it's about 20 some odd minutes in. Please like and subscribe. This really helps out. I like talking soccer and just putting it out there. And I'm watching games. I'm watching the highlights. I'm just, I'm documenting, I'm making notes as I watch these games and just see what's going on. But anyways, point is, please like and subscribe if you do like this kind of content. Anyways, Fulham, I'm going to give you a C+. This might be one of the lowest rated wins I ever give this season, because, you won off a complete disastrous own goal. We might not see an own goal like that for the rest of the season, like, genuinely. I think that the only times you really looked dangerous pretty much throughout the game was when Smith Rowe and Kevin came on later on. It was 76th minute, Smith Rowe 60. So basically, like, the last 30 minutes, you kind of looked dangerous. Kevin, I'm actually interested to see like what happens. He had a couple chances before that. I just mean like the real momentum in dangerous play was really once they came on. Yeah, if you want to be a top half team, you got to beat Leeds at home, and you got to look good doing it. If you're going to be winning through these like fluke games, like it's weird. It's like Fulham's got like this weird aura about them right now. Like, I mean, you got the late draw against Brighton, right, in the opening match of the year. Oh my God, right. Then also you kind of put the screws to Man United. So it's like you couldn't beat Brighton on the road, but you kind of took it to Man United. I mean, you kind of took it to Chelsea a little bit, but you got robbed. And then you robbed Leeds. Like, you're in this weird stage, like, it's funny because like when you watch film, you're like, this is a decent side. They're competent. They can string passes together. They got some real dangerous threat. Iwobi looks good. King and Muniz look half decent. Smith Rowe, when he's fit and healthy, he can help out. Kevin looks like a really like promising attacker. Like there's some things that I really like about this team, but then it's like you get these like weird fluky like either they draw games, lose games, or win games, and they're all kind of like mired in these like, you know, one-offs. I don't know. It's like it's hard to like pin you guys down. Like when I watch you guys, I'm like, you're decent. You're pretty good. Like you're like a 12th, maybe 11th. You know, like maybe 13th. Like you look around like just off top half, but like it's like you can't put it. You like, yeah. Anyways, I don't want to ramble on too much. Leeds. You lost in a fluke. You got a C out of this game. I'm going to give you a C because this is like the craziest fluke goal. Like it's a bad own goal. You know, the ball's coming over the top. Goodmanson clearly thinks that somebody's going to head the ball and it's going to go away, but it doesn't. It goes over everybody's heads. It hits him off the forehead and it goes into the corner. It's just like, I don't even know what else to say. Like this should have been a 0-0 game. This should have been the third 0-0 game of the weekend, but it wasn't. Super unlucky. I feel like newly promoted teams and teams that are experiencing like a bad drought, those own goals are the only times that happens. Like when you're a newly promoted side and you're trying to fight for every like, you know, every scrap of points that you can get, or if you're going through a bad rut of losing, like those like fluke own goals. Like if you remember that one that was Sunderland, it was like over a decade ago when they got relegated. It was like the ball came in and he tried to clear it with his left and he like spanks it into the corner, you know, like, and it's like those like weird own goals. It's like, those are the ones that happen when you're in a bad way. Those don't happen. Or if you're newly promoted, they just don't happen like Arsenal or Man City or Liverpool. I'm not seeing them concede goals like this. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I can't even be that. Like, just shake it off and move on. That's kind of all I can say. It's like it's just such a weird goal, and to lose that way late. That's all I really can say. Anyways, Newcastle Wolves. Let's talk about this one. Okay. Newcastle, I'm gonna give you a B. I think that you really needed this win. Like, you needed it. You were expected to have it. Expected to win, but you needed the win. So that's all that. You got mission accomplished. Like, done. Got 3 points. The game performance itself, I'd say you're pretty dominant. You hit the post. You had multiple chances to score and put this game away. It might have been 2 or 3-0. And just, yeah, you guys are a way better team than Wolves, like, just flat out. It's good to have Voltemata as well on his debut, get the goal, and win the goal or win the game that way. And, hopefully he integrates well into the side and that you guys can push on. But the only negative I can really say is that you didn't score more. I think I said in my initial reaction video, Harvey Barnes definitely was fouled by Yursa Mosquera. And that probably should have been a red. You had multiple opportunities to get this game over the line, but you didn't. It was remained close for a long time, and when it kind of shouldn't have been. So I can't really give you that much higher score than a B. Wolves, I'm gonna give a D-. This is a bad game, honestly. My Wolves opening play when Rodrigo Gomez had that chance, probably a few seconds into the game. That felt like a gimmick that we needed to pull to get into the game. If we didn't score that, it felt like there's not going to be many opportunities for us to kind of gamify our way into, because we don't have that threat. We don't have many threats. It's just very obvious throughout this game. And I've watched, I watch all the Wolves games as they happen. And that felt like a gimmick, like a gimmick goal, like that we were trying to pull. We can't break teams down. We can't defend. You're costing ourselves through errors, specifically through Agbadou. And after seeing this, I mean, after seeing that, you know what's funny? I rewatched this, and like I watched this game and I thought, why isn't Sam Johnson in net? Like, it's funny. It's like, why isn't Sam Johnson in net? Because I remember watching him through this game, and I was like, he's like coming out for the ball. You know, he's attacking the ball when it comes through. He's getting it in the air. He's not really an acrobatic goalie like Jose Sa is, but he stands tall. You know, he stands up like he's a big boy. He's got a big wingspan. And I don't know. It's like, you know, I understand there's a lot of calls for Jose Sa to, you know, like Sam Johnson to go in now after the Leeds game, but I just like rewatched this game and I was like, you know what, Sam Johnson's half decent. Like the game against West Ham in the Cup was kind of a bad game for everybody, honestly. But yeah. So, anyways, that's that. Yeah, moving on. So D- for Wolves, if I'm honest. Now, West Ham 0, Tottenham 3. Okay. So this game, West Ham, I'm going to give you an F. You have the worst performance. Third time this season out of 4 games. Third time this season, you have the worst performance there. And I don't want to hear it, West Ham fans. Okay. I understand that my team, Wolves, are sucking ass out here. Okay. I get it. But when I look week to week, okay, from our losses versus your losses, week to week, you always outperform us, right? We lose opening weekend 4-0 with Man City, right? We actually looked like half decent, right? And then you get blown out by Sunderland that same weekend, and it's like you're blown out. Like it's very apparent that you just got classed out. So we looked half decent for like the first 30 minutes, and then we kind of folded, right? And you got on the road to a newly promoted side, and then got pantsed. And I'm like, well, in the context of like, you know, City at home versus Sunderland away, I'm kind of like, I think that's kind of worse, right? The week after, we lose to Bournemouth 1-0. You get dunked on by Chelsea. Okay. So that's 2 for you. The next one, you got a 3-0 win, right? And then we lost. I can't remember what our loss was. I honestly cannot remember. What was our loss? Hold on. You know what? I'm trying to make a point here. I'm trying to say like I'm not being biased, I swear. Cuz like, oh, it was the 3-2 to Everton. We did not look good. That was honestly probably our like second best performance, maybe. And that was still a bad performance. I think the best performance that we put out so far was probably the Bournemouth game. But nonetheless, like it wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't that bad because I think the like Aston Villa getting dominated 3-0 was probably worse, right? And the thing is, like, we're still right there. You know, we probably second or third worst performance of the week, but this one, we got beat 1-0 to Newcastle, right? We had a couple opportunities, but we genuinely looked like we were like not good enough to play them, right? This one was another one of those games where like it's like the whole floor fell out again. It was like, and I'm just like, I don't know, like, I'm just saying. It was another one of those where the whole floor fell out. So you get an F in my book. Okay. Now, that being said, your troubles have compounded. I will say though, is that like you looked a little bit better, and it's funny that like I didn't even know what the starting lineup was. Like I didn't look at it until after I made the last video, the week 3. But it's funny that like He put in Walker Peters, Bowen, Fernandez, Paquetá, Somerville, and Doof. That was literally the guys that I saw. I was like, you guys got to put these guys out there. That's going to be work the best for you. And you did. It's funny that like I didn't even know that you guys did that. But hindsight's 2020, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. It's also telling that Potter didn't bring on Fulkrug. Sat on the bench for this. So, they decided to bring on Callum Wilson. And yeah, your attitude is just foul right now. It's foul. Sarr's goal is criminal. It's a criminal to concede something like that. He's sitting on the back post, literally unmarked. He just stands there and then jumps, heads it in. Nobody picked him up. The red card, I feel bad for Souček. If I'm honest, I have a special place for Souček because I lived in the Czech Republic for a while, went to Slavia Prague games back when he was on the team. So I watched him live, and also Soufal. But, nonetheless. So he's an absolute workhorse for you guys. And to see him get the red card, like, it sucks. And then your team deflated, and then immediately afterwards, Bergvall scores. Immediately afterwards. And then Van de Ven scores there, like shortly thereafter. Now the crowd is totally turned, and now it becomes negative, and it's like, yep. If you're getting booze and like everybody just empties out and everything, I'm like, it's a bad performance at home. Bad performance. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Tottenham, you get an A. You get an A. Solid win. It was pretty easy after the red card. West Ham basically totally hung themselves, and then you kind of just took them to the cleaners. Bergvall's header was great. Van de Ven's goal was slick, coming in with the late run. And honestly, the game was a little bit trickier than I thought, like being at the start of things. If I remember correctly, if I go here to stats in first half, just trickiness in the sense of like nothing really happened in the first half. It happened all in the second half. And you kind of just killed them after that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The thing is too is like just the speed that was allowed from Bowen and Somerville, Doof and Walker Peters, like just like that speed did cause a little bit of problems, but you handled it. Yeah, the negative is that literally nothing happened in the first half. Like it was pretty much totally dead. So that's really all I got for you. Good win, solid win. Xavi Simons looks good. Kudus looks good. Bergvall actually continues to surprise me with some of his play. So that's good that he's actually progressing quite well. Pop Sarr, he's a favorite of mine on your team. I really, really like Pop Sarr. Let's go to 2-2 Brentford and Chelsea. So Brentford, I'm going to give you a B here. I thought it was a really well fought draw. Your set places, your counterattacking were on display. You're really reliant on the long throw as well. Yeah, all around, I think this is, you got the two major threats. You got two angles of attack at set pieces and also like long ball counterattacking play. I think what really helps too is the fact that Henderson, I think during one of the goals, if Henderson's able to pick up that ball and turn, like if you're playing Brentford, you should know where Dango Batara and Kevin Shada are, because if Henderson's able to pick up that ball and turn, he's going to launch it into the corner, and then those guys are chasing for it. And now you got a full-on counterattack because these guys know how to hold up the ball. They know how to run with the ball, create space for themselves, allow support if needed, or sprint by a guy if they need to as well, which is more likely the option. So this is one of those games where like you could just see again, Brentford knows, like they know themselves extremely well. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. They're playing into their strengths and avoiding their weaknesses. That's where this happens. And yeah, I think that you just exercise like that understanding. Like Keith Andrews knows what he's good at and what he's bad at. Chelsea, I'm giving you a C-. This is a real lack of concentration from you guys. I really don't blame you for the first goal, actually, because that is just like Brentford playing into like their strengths, really. If anything, like hang on Jordan Henderson. Do not let him, like, in any scenario, get the ball and be able to turn, because then you know the counterattack is coming, right? What really stinks too is that Gittins, Bonanote, and Hato all sucked. They got subbed off. That basically just means like, yeah, we're gonna wrap up all of the Fofana also, but like we're just gonna wrap up all like whatever I said previously, and we're just gonna like put in some new people. So like the triple sub at halftime, and then Gittins shortly out, about 10 minutes later, shows a complete dissatisfaction with the game plan. And you just had to rely on Cole Palmer, who's not fully fit. And I mean, he scored. But like, yeah, it just like he clearly didn't want to bring on Cole Palmer because he's still on the bench, right? He's like, he's not fully fit yet. I don't want to do that. And yeah, the final goal that you conceded. Okay. I highlighted this in the West Ham 5-1. When you guys were up 5-1, you guys kind of took your foot off the brake, and then West Ham just had like this weird like resurgence in the game. They couldn't put anything away because they were completely obliterated, and the crowd hated them at that point. But you like took your eye off the ball for like the last like 20 minutes of that game. And I warned at that time, I said, Chelsea's going to take their eye off the ball every once in a while, and it's usually going to be after like a goal, maybe a big goal, and that's like they're going to be the most vulnerable right after that goal. And here, Brentford had continued pressure on you. They put in repeated big throw-ins. They ran the same throw-in routine 3 times in a row. The long throw is basically coming from here. They're going to throw it into the near post. They're going to huddle everybody there. They're going to have like all the big boys of Collins, Christopher Ayer. All these big boys. So they're just going to have them sit in that, at the near post, flick it onto the back post, and then have somebody do a late run at the far post. That was literally that was the plan for all 3 of them. And you just never like adapted to what they were trying to do. Everybody just crowded the near post. Nobody went to the back post. And that was it. So there's like the lack of attention to detail was one of them. So that's that. But also, again, like taking your eye off the ball. Once you go up late, you had the game at 2-1 in the 85th minute. Caicedo hitting an absolute rocket. It's just the fact that like this is where the emotional maturity comes into play. We're trying to like lock it down, stay focused, see out the game, and you didn't do it, and that's where you get punished. From honestly like a team like Brentford that at the start of the season I would say they probably don't, but they actually do have a little bit. They still have an identity, and they still look half decent. So, I gotta give you a C- for this. I don't think it's gonna kill you, but it's not a good look. Let's go to Burnley and Liverpool. This was interesting, honestly. Okay. So again, I want to highlight too, is that if you're still watching this, please like and subscribe. I mean, we're probably like 40 minutes in, so I got 2 more games left to go. Burnley, C+. Really impressed with your display. You're hard fought, just hard nosed, park the bus. Like you're watertight defensively. I just flat out like too bad on the result, but you had a great defensive organization. You just shut up shot. You were just watertight. Like every time there was a shooting lane, it was just like locked up, blocked everywhere. Crosses were getting blocked. You were tackling people. Like this was just full on just like a dogfight. It was just so crazy. It sucks that you lost to just a dumb penalty that Hannibal gave up at the end of the game. My only gripe, it's not necessarily like in this game, because I understand that, look, like they're champions, right? This team is one of the best teams in the world. Like I don't expect you to be putting like this past you. It's just the fact that like you, like it's your lack of goals, or lack of chances, maybe not even lack of goals, but I also don't want to be like super harsh on you, because again, you took Tottenham away, so kind of like, okay, you won the game that you definitely needed to win. Again, Sunderland at home, you got that, right? 3-2 against Man United. I gave you flowers last week, or in the previous video, because, I'm like, that was pretty decent, right? And then you got a 1-0 with with Liverpool. So it's just like I just kind of expect like more attacking chances. Maybe not necessarily, honestly, the same results. Like the results kind of line up with like where I expect you, and you're actually performing a little bit better than maybe what I thought on paper. Because like this result's actually not half bad. But yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. Liverpool, I'm going to give you a B. And I just think you just need to get over the line. It doesn't, like, this point, it's so crazy that you guys score super late goals. Yeah, it's just like, this is what winning a title takes. And I'm talking title fight right now, because that's what you guys are in. Liverpool has only won in recent memory, the last two that they've won during the COVID year and then last year. Liverpool has only been able to win when they get a massive lead early on, and then everybody's like, oh, it's done by Christmas. Like, and then everybody's got the back half of the league, right? That's basically what Liverpool has to do. They have to come out sprinting out the blocks. Everybody else has got to still kind of like find themselves for the first month or two. Liverpool's like, we're not going to try and do that. We're going to try and win literally every single game. Sprint early, because we want to be in Europe late, and not have to worry about the league. So that's what I'm seeing right now. And I do think too, by the way, this is another one I just picked up. Burnley away and Crystal Palace away. I think there's going to be some real respect after this game for how hard Burnley fought. Crystal Palace is like basically a watertight defense as well. So it's just like, you get champions like this, like you just get the result. It does not matter how you get the result, and champions get 3 points coming out of Burnley. Like if they're going to play like this, where it's going to be airtight defense all 90 minutes, and it's going to be physical, it's going to be ugly. They're going to force you, it's like, and you're able to still put it away. I understand it's a dumb penalty, but like, you keep trying, you keep doing it, right? And you figure it happens. Like it happens. This is what happens. Yeah. Last thing, my Szoboszlai. Dom Szoboszlai is my favorite player on your team right now. Bradley came in as a right back, right? And then Szoboszlai moved into the middle. And then just like basically explicitly used his cannon of a shot from deep to test Dubravka as an additional offensive tactic. Slot clearly was like, dude, hit him with shots, test the keeper, hit it into the wall, get a deflection, see what happens. Slot relies so heavily on Dom Szoboszlai. I think it really tells you a lot, the fact that Frimpong got subbed on the 87th minute, right? It's just like, I know that he's also coming back from an injury, so I don't want to be, But the other thing about Slot too that I did like, he took off Kirkez early. Kirkez is 21 years old. He's never done a title chase. He's never been in like these bigger, more high profile situations. The emotion took him over. He took him off. He explained, hey man, look, you're still a good player. You're still going to be playing the big games. You just need to learn from the fact that you need to calm down. You got a yellow, then you fouled shortly afterwards, and the ref was like, you got one more chance. That was a smart move. That was a red card that was bubbling under the surface because Kirkez was getting agitated. So I like that move. I do. I don't like. Kirkez should just kind of humble himself and really understand like the project he's in. But Slot just explaining, I just like it. I like it. Anyways, yeah, that's it. If I didn't say it already, that's an A. It's a B for Liverpool. Sorry. Okay. This is Man City's performance was the best of the weekend and my favorite of the weekend. A+. Thrilling victory. You should, maybe would on a different day score a lot more than just 3. You guys had like crazy chances the entire time and was able to pile some misery on a City rival. And it was a big game. The crowd was really up for it. So that was one of the reasons why I really enjoyed. I love it when the crowd's in. If the crowd really shows up hard for the game, like and then the play that's on the field is good, then you might get my favorite, but that's just what I'm saying. You just 100% looked like the better team. You looked more experienced. You looked like you had more talent. You looked like you had a better mindset. The team was together. You definitely needed this win because in like the big six, like high profile, games, you lost to Tottenham at home. So you needed to be at home and then just dominate Man United, and you did that. You got Donnarumma now as well. You got a clean sheet. He made a couple really high quality saves. The big one was, I think, in Buemo, where he hit it across the net, and it was like a flash. Like he just stuck out a big mitt and was able to get it around the post. Yeah, and I think Donnarumma might be the best goalkeeper in the world. If he's not, then maybe Alisson. Like, I think it's 1 and 2. I mean, it's clear that the injuries of your previous Brazilian, and I'm blanking on his name. Clearly the injuries have stacked up on him, unfortunately. So Ederson, oh my God, Ederson. So that is what it is. But the negatives, I would say, is that you kind of switched off at the last, 20 minutes of the game, 15 minutes of the game. You completely obliterated Man United's confidence, right? So it's not like, it's just like they had a lot of chances at the end. I guess that's all I'm saying. So just finish the game strong. Don't lose focus. Man United, D+, not a good look. You looked ugly. It's a big rivalry game. You just didn't look like you were up for it whatsoever. Luke Shaw had an absolute stinker. He got beat twice for goal 1 and 2. Doku dummies him, shimmies one way and then goes the other. So Luke is completely flat-footed as he sees him going right, and then he actually blasts right through him on the left. Haaland muscled him off for the second goal, which stinks because he had the inside track on him, so he got outran and outmuscled. But a number of players also played not that well. Just highlighting: De Ligt stunk, Yoro, Šeško, Ugarte, pretty much any of the subs as well. Like the third goal was ugly too because there was like a bad pass. Then Haaland was just sitting there completely unmarked on his own half. So there's offside rule, didn't even count, and just got launched over. It's just like that. The third goal was kind of ugly. My parting gift here for Man United is just keep going through the process. Keep going through the project. Okay. You're not there yet to beat Man City away. You're not there yet. Ahmad scoring that freak goal at the end of last season. Like, don't expect that, just because that happened, you're going to you're going to be able to take it to him. You're not. That was kind of a fluke win. You got a penalty and then Ahmad scored this freak goal from a crazy corner, a bad angle. Those games don't happen. They don't happen. They just don't. You don't keep winning like that. Man City's a way better team than you are. My big thing though is I'm giving you a D+ because I do expect you to not get embarrassed. And you got embarrassed. So that is it. Anyways, I'm going to now watch the highlights and the analysis and the everything for game week 5. So I'm hoping that maybe I can get that video out to you probably tomorrow. So I'm hoping to get that out tomorrow. But hope you enjoyed it. If you got through this, thank you. And please like and subscribe, and I'll continue pumping this out. I do enjoy making it because I like watching soccer and just, trying to think critically about the game and what I'm seeing, body language, tactics, player performances, whatever be. So hope you enjoyed it. So just to wrap up again, best performance of Man City, favorite performance as well. The worst one was West Ham for game week 4.